It is my profound honor to welcome you to the 19th Caribbean Week of Agriculture. I extend a special welcome to all our local, regional, and international guests. Your presence here today is a powerful testament that our shared commitment to agriculture is strong, our commitment to food security is secure, and the future of the Caribbean is well in line with our desires.
We cannot talk about food security, sovereignty, climate resilience without agriculture. And we certainly cannot talk about sustainable development without agriculture. Agriculture has always been the heartbeat of our Caribbean story. If we cannot feed ourselves, we are not truly free.
Let us remember that our true strength lies in unity. Together, across borders, across disciplines, and across generations, we can sow the changes needed to harvest a resilient and sustainable future.
Time for hesitation has passed. The time for excuses has expired. The time for transformation through solidarity and through action is right here, right now.
Yep. Kitty Vision. Carnival Dale, looking nice and pretty. Ugly Dally house, lighting up the city. By the circus clock, girl, you could meet me. The whole of 4th Street, bright like a New York City. This one is for all of me, Dale. Check me near, take a hair salon regularly. Independent, you work hard for your money. Step out of your Dally house, yes, bright and sunny. This is season 1, Dally edition. A Dally marathon, all a tongue, a Dally tongue. So when you see them with them face beat up, hygiene up, 30-inch Brazilian here, girl, you wig up, nails paint up, well neat up. Want me a dolly, girl, you better try kick up. Want me dolly, some girl, want me dolly. When me real dolly, them put up your hand, make me say, want me dolly, them girl, want me dolly. When me real dolly, them put up your hand and say me. Cause anyway, we the big girl, them dolly up, Juve, them dolly up, Parade, them dolly up. Me straight sugar mass and put them dolly ups. Out of them dolly ups, them girl them dolly up. And me say, me baby get the girl them dolly out. Juve them dolly out, Parade them dolly out. They call me straight sugar man out of them dolly ups. Carnival dolly down, because the dolly's out. Watch out, Barbie dolly, them girl a Barbie dolly. Cute face, nice she up and the necessary. Barbie dolly, them girl a Barbie dolly. Cute face, nice she up and the necessary. Carnival Dale, looking nice and pretty, lighting up the city. So when you see them with their face beat up, hygiene up, 30-inch Brazilian here, girl, you wig up, nails paint up, well neat up. Want me a dolly, girl, you better try kick up. Want me dolly, some girl, want me dolly. When me real dolly, them put up your hand, make me say, want me dolly, them girl, want me dolly. When me real dolly, them put up your hand and say me. Cause anyway we them dolly up, Juve them dolly up, Parade them dolly up. They call me straight sugar mass and put them dolly ups. Out of them dolly ups, them girl them dolly up. And me say, me baby girl them dolly out, Juve them dolly out, Parade them dolly out. They call me straight sugar man out of them dolly ups. Carnival
It is my profound honor to welcome you to the 19th Caribbean Week of Agriculture. I extend a special welcome to all our local, regional, and international guests. Your presence here today is a powerful testament that our shared commitment to agriculture is strong, our commitment to food security is secure, and the future of the Caribbean is well in line with our desires.
We cannot talk about food security, sovereignty, climate resilience without agriculture. And we certainly cannot talk about sustainable development without agriculture. Agriculture has always been the heartbeat of our Caribbean story. If we cannot feed ourselves, we are not truly free.
Let us remember that our true strength lies in unity. Together, across borders, across disciplines, and across generations, we can sow the changes needed to harvest a resilient and sustainable future.
Time for hesitation has passed. The time for excuses has expired. The time for transformation through solidarity and through action is right here, right now.
Yep. Get the shiny vision. So good to me. That's good. Yeah. Can you help me say thank you? Now can you help me say thank you? Yeah. Cause if you work from the day to the night, but you know that you still gotta fight, I wanna say thank you for not giving up on me.
For not giving up on me. For not giving up on you. For your belief in me. And for your belief in you.
So baby, right on time. Anything you need, I'll be right on time. Give you everything, even my last dime. If I got it, you got it, we gon' be fine. Oh, pray for better days. Like Mr. Garvey, we keep the faith. Eyes on Zion, no time to wait. Don't say please, just let me hear you say thank you. Thank you. Now can you let me say thank you? Cause if you work from the day to the night, but you know that you still gotta fight, I wanna say thank you. Thank you for not giving up on me. For not giving up on me. For not giving up. For not giving up on you. For not giving up on me. For not giving up on you. I wanna say thank you. Oh, can you hear me say thank you? Hey, cause if you work from the day to the night, Carnival Dali, looking nice and pretty. Up the Dali house, lighting up the city. By the circus clock, girl, you could meet me. The whole of 4th Street bright like a New York City. This one is for all of me, Dali. Check me near, take a hair salon regularly. Independent, you work hard for your money. Step out of your Dali house, yes, bright and sunny. This is season 1, Dali edition. A Dali marathon, all a tongue, it Dali down. And when you left your house, girl, it ain't no doubt. Every girl, they Dali out. So when you see them with them face beat up, hygiene up, 30-inch Brazilian here, girl, you wig up. Nails paint up, well neat up. One be a Dali, girl, you better try keep up. One be Dali, some girl, one be Dali. When me real Dali, them put up your hand, make me say. One be Dali, them girl, one be Dali. When me real Dali, them put up your hand and say me. Cause anyway we the big girl, them Dali up. Juve, them Dali up. Parade, them Dali up. They call me straight sugar man, some for them Dali ups. Out of them Dali ups, them girl, them Dali up. And me say, anyway we the big girl, them Dali up. Juve, them Dali up. Parade, them Dali up. They call me straight sugar man, out of them Dali ups. Carnival Dali down, because the Dali's out. Watch out, Barbie Dali, them girl, a Barbie Dali. Cute face, nice, she up and the necessary for Barbie Dali, them girl, a Barbie Dali. Cute face, nice, she up and the necessary. Carnival Dali, looking nice and pretty, lighting up the city. So when you see them with their face beat up, hygiene up, 30-inch Brazilian here, girl, you wig up. Nails paint up, well neat up. One be a Dali, girl, you better try keep up. One be Dali, some girl, one be Dali. When me real Dali, them put up your hand, make me say. One be Dali, them girl, one be Dali. When me real Dali, them put up your hand and say me. Cause anyway we the big girl, them Dali up. Juve, them Dali up. Parade, them Dali up. They call me straight sugar man, some for them Dali ups. Out of them Dali ups, them girl, them Dali up. And me say, anyway we the big girl, them Dali out. Juve, them Dali out. Parade, them Dali out. They call me straight sugar man, out of them Dali ups. Carnival Dali down, because the Dali's out. Watch out, Barbie Dali, them girl, a Barbie Dali. Cute face, nice, she up and the necessary. Barbie Dali, them girl, a Barbie Dali. Cute face, nice, she up and the necessary.
It is my profound honor to welcome you to the 19th Caribbean Week of Agriculture. I extend a special welcome to all our local, regional, and international guests. Your presence here today is a powerful testament that our shared commitment to agriculture is strong, our commitment to food security is secure, and the future of the Caribbean is well in line with our desires.
We cannot talk about food security, sovereignty, climate resilience without agriculture. And we certainly cannot talk about sustainable development without agriculture. Agriculture has always been the heartbeat of our Caribbean story. If we cannot feed ourselves, we are not truly free.
Let us remember that our true strength lies in unity. Together, across borders, across disciplines, and across generations, we can sow the changes needed to harvest a resilient and sustainable future.
Time for hesitation has passed. The time for excuses has expired. The time for transformation through solidarity and through action is right here, right now.
Yep. Get the shiny vision. So good to me. That's good. Yeah. Can you help me say thank you? Now can you help me say thank you? Yeah. Cause if you work from the day to the night, but you know that you still gotta fight, I wanna say thank you for not giving up on me.
For not giving up on me. For not giving up on you. For your belief in me. And for your belief in you.
So baby, right on time. Anything you need, I'll be right on time. Give you everything, even my last dime. If I got it, you got it, we gon' be fine. Oh, pray for better days. Like Mr. Garvey, we keep the faith. Eyes on Zion, no time to waste. Don't say please, just let me hear you say thank you. Thank you. Now can you let me say thank you? Cause if you work from the day to the night, but you know that you still gotta fight, I wanna say thank you. For not giving up on me. For not giving up on me. For not giving up. For not giving up on you. For not giving up on me. For not giving up on you. I wanna say thank you. Thank you. No, can you hear me say thank you? Hey, cause if you work from the day to the night, but you know that you still gotta fight, I wanna say thank you. Thank you. For not giving up on me. Yes. For not giving up on me. Say thank you. Thank you. For not giving up on me. Thank you. For not giving up on me. You. For not giving up on me. Thank you.
Honorable Samal Duggins, Minister of Sports, Agriculture, Fisheries and Marine Resources, Small Business, Entrepreneurship, Cooperatives and the Creative Economy, Miss Valencia Saida, Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Sports, Mr. Miguel Fleming, Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, and Marine Resources, Ms. Delreen Taylor, Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Small Business, Entrepreneurship, Cooperatives, and the Creative Economy, Mr. Jeffrey Hazel, Director of Sports, Ms. Yushena Jeffers, Acting Director of the Department of Agriculture, Ms. Maritza Queely, Port Officer within the Department of Marine Resources, Ms. Leah Craig Chatterton, Director for the Ministry of Small Business, Entrepreneurship, Cooperatives, and the Creative Economy, Ms. Robertine Webb, Director of Creative Economy, Mr. Pierre Leibard, Director of Culture, Mrs. Erla Clark Allen, Registrar of Cooperatives, Ms. Shannon Hawley, Chair of the St. Kitts Nevis National Carnival Committee, other dignitaries and senior government officials, distinguished guests, members of the media, colleagues and friends, good morning. Good morning. And welcome to our third quarter press conference for 2025 under the theme, Beyond Boundaries, Breaking Barriers. I am Azaria Vanterpool, and I have the honor of serving as the chairperson for today's press conference. As we begin the minister's third quarter press conference with his permanent secretaries and directors, please stand for the playing of the national anthem, followed by the opening prayer.
O land of beauty, O country where peace abounds, thy children stand free on the strength of will and love, with God in all our struggles, St. Kitts and Nevis be our nation bound together with a common destiny. As stalwarts we stand for justice and liberty, with wisdom and truth we will serve and honor thee. No sword nor spear can conquer, for God will sure defend. His blessing shall forever to posterity extend.
Let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we come before you this morning with grateful hearts, thankful for life, health, and the opportunity to serve our nation and its people. Lord, we thank you for the wisdom and guidance you continue to grant to our leaders, our minister, permanent secretaries, directors, and all those who labor daily to advance the work of this country. We thank you for the spirit of collaboration that allows us to go beyond boundaries and break barriers in pursuit of growth, innovation, and empowerment. As we gather here today to reflect on our progress and share our impact, we invite your presence among us. Bless every word spoken, every decision made, and every initiative that takes root. May all that we do continue to honor you and uplift the lives of our people. We ask for your continued covering over our communities, our families, and our federation, that we may remain united in purpose and steadfast in faith. We give you all the praise, the glory, and the thanks. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Please be seated. As we gather here today For the third quarter press conference under the theme Beyond Boundaries, Breaking Barriers, I can't help but reflect on the journey that has brought us here. Our first quarter press conference set the tone under the banner Vision, Action, Results, a bold declaration that we were not here to talk about ideas alone, but to see them in motion. Then came quarter two, Raising the Standard, where we reaffirmed our commitment to excellence, to building stronger systems, delivering more efficiently, and leading with accountability. And now, quarter three, Beyond Boundaries and Breaking Barriers. Quite fitting. For me, it captures the spirit of what this season has been about, pushing limits, finding new ways to deliver, and showing that progress has no borders when purpose leads the way. Today's press conference continues our commitment to transparency and engagement. We are continuing our approach that is open and interactive, bringing our progress to life through short video highlight reels that showcase the work being done across our ministries. And as we gather here, you'll notice our head table this morning is adorned in pink in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, or Pinktober as I like to call it. It's a reminder that while we work to build a stronger nation, we also stand united in compassion, awareness, and care for the lives that matter most. So as we reflect, let's also be inspired by the progress we've made, the boundaries we've crossed, and the barriers we continue to break. Now, it is my honor to invite a man whose leadership continues to set the tone for transformation across every sector he touches. A man some call the fashion minister, others call Minister Dimples, that's a new one, and many know as the delivery man. He wears many hats, a visionary, a champion for sportsmen and women, small business owners, creatives, farmers, and fishers alike. He is also the driving force behind much of the progress we celebrate today. So on that note, please join me in welcoming our minister, the Honorable Samal Duggins, Minister of Sports, Agriculture, Fisheries, and Marine Resources, Small Business, Entrepreneurship, Cooperatives, and the Creative Economy. Welcome.
Mistress, Master of Ceremony, Mrs. Master of Ceremony, yes, thank you for that introduction. You actually made me laugh while listening. Nonetheless, I want to take this time this morning to really commend the entire team, not just the ones that we see here at the head table, but those that support those that sit here as well. It's not ever an easy task to lead a nation, especially a nation like ours, in a world that is seemingly declining into chaos. When we look at the entire world, no matter which hemisphere, we see so much happening. And as a small nation in the midst of that, to continue progressing is always a challenge. And so I would like for us to give a round of applause to the head table and the team that supports them for the continued work. But I'd like to say how much I'm also honored to lead these ministries. Ministries that are oftentimes forgotten, oftentimes brushed aside, oftentimes disregarded as somewhat insignificant, somewhat frivolous in some cases. But ministries that have continued to make tremendous impact, not just across the landscape of St. Kitts and Nevis, but across the region and across the world. And I want to speak about this quarter in particular, because we come here almost every 90 days to report on what we have done during that 90 days. And here we are today again to report on the past 90 days. And I want to say that this quarter itself has been one of action, has been one of impact, and one certainly of transformation. When we look across every department, from sports to culture, from agriculture to entrepreneurship, we didn't just make progress, we redefined, in many cases, what progress for St. Kitts and Nevis should look like. Under the banner today, Beyond Boundaries, Breaking Barriers, we look at all the ministries and departments and how they've been working hand in hand, working to build champions, working to empower creators, working to modernize industries, and working to open new doors where our people have new opportunities. This quarter in itself was living proof that when vision meets action, our federation moved forward as one. In this quarter, I believe it is fair to say that we reignited the national pride in our people, in our stadiums, in our classrooms, and certainly throughout our communities. In this quarter, we invested in our youth, we strengthened our creative industries, and we ensured that every Kittitian and Nevisian could see and feel the results of our work. We ensured that not just coming to you by means of public relations or not just coming to you by headlines, but we have been present in your daily lives. When we look at it from hosting the most recently held Caribbean Week of Agriculture, which positioned this country at the center of regional food security leadership, or to our delegation that traveled to Barbados for Carifesta, which was, on record, I am told, the largest creative delegation to travel there in our nation's history. This quarter in and of itself, ladies and gentlemen, reminded us and the world that small islands can make big waves when we are powered by purpose and when that power is people-centered. We also doubled down on innovation, integrating technology on our farms, expanding access to capital for small businesses, and growing the cooperative movement, ensuring that the opportunities are more inclusive for everybody. Every program, every initiative, every single effort made carried one message. The message that says that we are empowering our citizens not just to participate in the development, but we are empowering our citizens to drive it. And at the same time, we celebrated not just our advancement, but we celebrated who we are as people as well. Our initiatives in the Ministry of Cultural Heritage, the Will Village That, where we went to different villages and showed how our lived heritage impacts traditional communities and the normal man and woman. When we look at these ministries, it is easy to commend the ones that are more public-facing. And in that regard, I want to say kudos to the team at the National Carnival Secretariat. Because last year, we saw what Sugar Mass did for St. Kitts and Nevis. This year, we will see how much we are breaking barriers and moving into a new frontier. Sugar Mass continues to be one of our greatest cultural expressions, one of our largest economic activities. Last year, we saw that over the 3 weeks, it had brought over $21 million into our economy. It's clear, ladies and gentlemen, our culture continues to be the heartbeat of our national progress. It fuels unity, it fuels identity, and it also fuels national pride. And so, as we close this quarter, one truth stands tall. There are no limits to what our people can achieve. When we work together, we can chart a new course for a modern, a course for a very confident, and a course for a globally competitive St. Kitts and Nevis, one that continues to rise beyond boundaries, and one that continues to break every single barrier in our path. And again, I commend this team. As I look across the table, I reflect on the words that I always hold dear that were recited by Miss Jan Williams in a poem she had done entitled 65. And the poem was based on the concept that 65% of our nation is actually young people, and that young people should take their space. And when I look at the table, I see that 65 is well in action. And so now I will retreat to my seat because I know there are a few treats that they have presented for the nation, for the world, for you all, to show what development is looking like right now across these sectors in St. Kitts and Nevis. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you, Minister, for those powerful and inspiring remarks. Your leadership continues to remind us that transformation doesn't happen by chance. It happens through vision, consistency, and collaboration. Each quarter, we see the tangible results of that leadership in the way our ministries continue to evolve, whether it's through strengthening our agricultural sector, empowering our creatives, supporting our small businesses, or investing in our athletes and young people. We now move into the highlight segment of this morning's conference, our video presentations. This quarter, we continue our commitment to transparency and engagement by presenting short highlight reels that showcase the progress being made across our ministries and departments. These clips capture not only the work, but the people, the communities, and the impact behind every achievement. First up is the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, and Marine Resources.
The Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis became a hub of innovation as the Ministry of Agriculture proudly hosted the Caribbean community's 19th Caribbean Week of Agriculture. The region united to strengthen food systems while opening doors to new marketing opportunities and strategic partnerships for our food producers. And to end it all on an exciting note, the 30th Agriculture Open Day and Marine Expo was successfully hosted under the banner of celebration and innovation. This milestone edition marked 3 decades of the nation's premier agricultural exposition, an enduring platform that continues to highlight the sector's growth. Farmers and mechanical engineers enhanced their skills through the Land Operator Specialized Training Program to ensure smarter, more efficient land management for generations to come. A technical assessment on irrigation and water management addressed one of agriculture's most critical resources, water, to improve water efficiency, strengthen climate resilience, and enhance food security within the Federation. And finally, in our fight against plant diseases, AICA, HADI, and the Department of Agriculture led a dynamic plant disease diagnostics and management workshop to detect and manage plant diseases effectively. This is the power of collaboration. This is innovation in action. Together, we are moving beyond the boundaries, breaking barriers, and cultivating a stronger, more sustainable agricultural sector.
From bold firsts to history-making moments, here's how the Department of Marine Resources went beyond the boundaries, breaking barriers this quarter. This summer was all about youth empowerment as we hosted our very first fishing summer camp in the heart of a fishing community, Old Road. Over a dozen young marine enthusiasts learned to make their own hand lines, participated in a fishing trip, and even created value-added products. In a historic first, we teamed up with NEMA and the Nevis Disaster Management Department to host Fishers Hurricane Preparedness meetings. Together, we shared safety measures and strengthened resilience across our fishing communities. Because when it comes to storms, preparedness saves lives. We hosted 2 FAT construction workshops, where participants rolled up their sleeves and built several fish aggregating devices to support sustainable fishing and improve catch efficiency. Big news! St. Kitts and Nevis officially ratified the Agreement on Marine Biological Diversity of Areas Beyond National Jurisdiction, the BBNJ Agreement. This strengthens global ocean conservation efforts and proves that our small islands are making a big impact on the world's oceans. This quarter showed what it means to go beyond boundaries, breaking barriers. So stay tuned to our platforms for even more, because the future of our marine sector is bold and resilient.
There's so much that must take place behind the boundaries before we can truly move beyond them to break the barriers of stigma and uncertainty and unlock the full social and economic potential of a medicinal cannabis industry in St. Kitts and Nevis. So how had we advanced that mission in the third quarter of 2025? First, as part of our efforts to strengthen and streamline public relations, I'm pleased to introduce myself. I'm Carla Berridge, the newly appointed Public Relations Officer at the Medicinal Cannabis Authority. With my background in journalism, I look forward to bringing credible, accessible communication to the medicinal cannabis space and connecting with you, the public, as our work progresses. The MCA also deepened interagency collaboration with the Chief Medical Officer, engaging the board to streamline policies on importation and product regulation, a crucial step toward clarity and coordination between health, law, and agriculture. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Agriculture supported public awareness through cannabis exhibitions at the Agri Open Day, held during the Caribbean Week of Agriculture. These showcases helped to educate citizens, farmers, and stakeholders on the plant's scientific, economic, and medicinal value. While there is still work ahead, these steps represent meaningful progress, transforming a complex framework into a coordinated, transparent, and opportunity-driven industry. Together, we are moving beyond boundaries and breaking barriers to shape a medicinal cannabis sector that benefits all of St. Kitts and Nevis.
All right, let's hear it for the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, and Marine Resources. Now we'll have the Ministry of Sports.
This quarter, the Department of Sports made it happen, breaking records, breaking limits, and breaking barriers. The department proudly celebrated the revitalization of the King Collins Athletic Stadium, featuring a major overhaul and a brand new track. This iconic facility was brought back to life with the primary school exam event invitational. Quarter 3 also saw St. Kitts and Nevis shine on the international stage, successfully hosted several high-profile sporting events, from the West Indies versus Australia series and the Caribbean Premier League to the Under-19 Rising Stars men's 50 over cricket tournament, Under-21 women's and men's beach volleyball championships, and a thrilling youth netball series against visiting Trinidad teams. Events that continue to inspire the next generation. Meanwhile, our local athletes continue to break barriers regionally and internationally. swimmers competed at the Pan Am Juniors and World Aquatic Championships. Junior tennis players battled at the Kotek Under 14 tournament. National cricketers represented us with pride, and our Under 14 female footballers gained valuable international exposure. Through upgraded facilities, international hosting, and raising athletic talent, the Department of Sport continues to go beyond boundaries and break barriers, building a future where sports in St. Kitts and Nevis knows no limits.
All right. And now, finally, we'll have the Ministry of Small Business, Entrepreneurship, Cooperatives, and the Creative Economy.
"2025 is the year the Department of Small Business says goodbye to limits and hello to limitless possibilities. This quarter, we champion the pillars that power small business success: access to capital, strategic investment, and intellectual property empowerment. In July, the Sundown Summit lit up the business landscape. From power-packed networking to game-changing insights, participants explored financial tools designed to help small businesses grow and scale. In August, the spotlight turned to smart investing during the UTC Global Balanced Fund Limited session. Business owners discovered how personal investment can fuel business growth. With professional management, global reach, and long-term gains, attendees gained a fresh perspective on building wealth with purpose. And just when you thought it couldn't get better, we unlocked the third pillar: intellectual property, with our IP and business growth training. Participants learn how to protect their creation, build brand power, and turn innovation into lasting value. Quarter after quarter, the Department of Small Business has been going beyond boundaries, breaking barriers, to ensure that we are not just supporting small businesses, we are shifting what's possible through access, innovation, and empowerment.
This quarter, the Department of Entrepreneurship has been pushing beyond boundaries, breaking barriers, delivering results that empower entrepreneurs and amplify our creative industries. We took business beyond boundaries with the very first cohort of the Building Bankable Businesses Financial Literacy Program. Entrepreneurs dove into training, leveled up their money management skills, ready to run stronger, smarter businesses. We broke barriers in the creative space to create TV's official coverage of the inaugural Rhythm Retreat here in St. Kitts. As part of this, our executive producer created the official video for Thank You, a brand new track from the retreat featuring local stars Dejour and Bakil, alongside 9-time Grammy-nominated multi-platinum producer Hossein and Nigerian sensation Dija. Regionally, we'll push beyond boundaries once again with Creativity's leading media and marketing for Team St. Kitts and Nevis at CariFest 15 in Barbados. We showcased our nation's artistry and made sure the region felt our presence. At every level, the department is building opportunities, opening doors, and making waves at home and abroad. Together, we'll continue our journey, pushing beyond boundaries and breaking barriers.
In the third quarter of 2025, the Department of Cooperatives continued its mission of strengthening and promoting the cooperative movement in St. Kitts and Nevis. July marked our vibrant participation in the global celebration of the International Day of Cooperatives, with a dynamic week of activities that spotlighted the crucial role cooperatives play in driving sustainable development. A standout highlight was our signature Taste and See event, which brought together restaurateurs, supermarket owners, hoteliers, and key stakeholders to engage directly with cooperatives. The department also intensified its support for cooperatives gearing up for their annual general meetings, championing sound governance and fostering active member engagement. In September, the OECS Credit Union Summit Market Day brought even greater momentum as the St. Kitts Nevis National Cooperative League teamed up with the department to invite cooperatives to showcase their strengths and forge powerful connections both locally and regionally. As we move forward, the Department of Cooperatives remains unwavering in its commitment to going beyond boundaries and breaking barriers, propelling the cooperative movement to new heights.
Cultural heritage progressively chugged along for the third quarter of 2025. We found various ways to reach beyond boundaries, breaking barriers. The month of August kept us quite busy, initially with our ICH Core Knowledge Transfer Camp. Close to 50 children learned mummies, actors, macajimbis, clowns, and string band instrument playing, as well as 2 folk songs. Our Deco Cup live show and Living Heritage mini documentary shows continued full steam ahead with a range of guests. August 18th was a historic date for cultural heritage and certainly beyond boundaries, breaking barriers. An initial meeting was held with stakeholders and practitioners from both islands, along with UNESCO expertise towards a detailed inventory of practiced traditions towards inscription for global recognition. Our third quarter culminated with We Village That, the Phillips's edition held September 4th. With tremendous turnout and impressive participation, the residents of Phillips's demonstrated their appreciation for their community and the awardees for their contribution towards Phillips's development and nation building. Beyond boundaries, breaking barriers quite suited our third quarter, but there's more work to do. So we are culturally yours. Until next time, all aboard!
Under the bold leadership of Honorable Samal Duggins, the Department of Creative Economy is proving that size doesn't limit impact, breaking barriers and going beyond boundaries every step of the way. In August, St. Kitts and Nevis made history at the Japan World Expo 2025, where the department partnered with Skipper to send 10 top-tier creatives to showcase our culture through music, dance, and storytelling. Next stop, Barbados. CariFesta 15 was more than performance. It was about exporting talent and creating new opportunities. Our 110-strong delegation lit up every space, leading workshops, commanding cultural showcases, and turning the Grand Market into a hub of island excellence. And back home, the energy didn't slow down. The drill competition saw our nation's finest put precision, pride, and discipline on full display. At the Department of Creative Economy, we are proving that no boundary is too wide, no barrier too high. Missed CariFesta? Catch the highlights on our socials and see what happens when creativity meets opportunity.
Registration for our National Carnival events closed on a high note. Beyond boundaries and breaking barriers, we have 17 Juve troops, 7 mass bands, and over 25 private events and counting lined up on the Sugar Mass 54 calendar, in addition to our traditional national events. Sugar Mass is brimming with excitement and new milestones. All high schools in St. Kitts are proudly represented in the Republic Bank Miss Teen St. Kitts and Nevis pageant, including Sky Academy for the very first time. The 5 Miss St. Kitts and Nevis Queen Ambassadors were officially sashed by their esteemed sponsors at a special cocktail at Carambola Beach Club. In September, the St. Kitts and Nevis National Carnival Committee hosted its first ever school tour, visiting 16 primary schools to promote Junior Carnival. And parents, don't miss out on registration for Junior Carnival, which opens in October. And to top it all off, all junior costumes will be absolutely free while stocks last. Prize monies for our street activities have increased with significant payouts for Juve, Road Match, and the Grand Parade. Over $100,000 is at stake for the winners of the Grand Parade, in addition to over $75,000 in winnings for our road match competition as well as Juve Troop competition. This sugar mass promises to be one for the history books, and with your support, we are ready to make it unforgettable.
All right, let's hear it for the Ministry of Small Business et al. I only wish that the costumes would have been free for the adults, but we can't always get what you ask for. And so, now that concludes the video presentations for this morning. I think we can all agree that the progress speaks for itself. Thank you to our teams for putting together those comprehensive highlight reels. I know it is a task, but you commit and you deliver every time. Thank you. We'll now open the floor for our question and answer segment. Members of the media are invited to pose their questions. Please identify your name and the media house you represent before speaking. Let's also ensure that the conversation remains constructive and within the scope of today's presentations. All questions will be directed to the minister, who will then delegate to the most suitable representative for a response if needed. For a smooth flow and to ensure everyone has an opportunity, we kindly ask that you limit yourself to 2 questions at a time, and then we'll alternate between media houses as best as possible. Thank you for your cooperation, and we now invite your questions.
Good morning, everyone, to the head table, the minister. Andre Huey, SK Newsline, and TVC Channel 40. I'm going to start with agriculture. And you had a very good presentation there, and especially with Agriculture Open Week. Caribbean Week of Agriculture, rather. But I want to focus on one of the major projects that the government has announced, which is the Tabasco project. What's the update on that? And could you probably explain the local involvement in the program? Because the last time I asked you about it, in terms of information, you did say that because of proprietary protection, a lot of the information that could have been given to farmers you couldn't give it because of the need to protect Tabasco's intellectual property as it relates to the production. So in terms of how does that then impact the local involvement in the production itself? How many farmers are involved? And how does Tabasco then go about protecting its proprietary information if you have local involvement in that sense? So if you could just explain how that works, how the production works in contrast to the local involvement. So that's one. Still on agriculture, and this is a very simple and straightforward question. You have received a lot of criticisms from farmers, persons who support the government, persons who don't support the government, of your handling of the Ministry of Agriculture. How do you respond to those criticisms? I'll leave it for there for now.
Well, I wish to thank you so much for those questions. Now, if you permit me, I'd like to start from your last question and then go to your first question. Now, the truth is, when we look at the Ministry of Agriculture, or Agriculture in St. Kitts and Nevis, we recognize that for years, agriculture had been one of those ministries that was really under the shadows. It had been somewhat cast away as almost insignificant. And in terms of how it's been projected in the media. The challenge always when you bring something like that to the forefront, people tend to look at it in its entirety. Now the truth is, as I sit here today, I have been a minister for just over 3 years in its entirety. And within 3 years, if we had to catalog all that has been done for the sector, whether it was the 700 plus farmers that we gave free supplies to, ground cover, drip lines, fencing material, you name it, or whether it was the two new tractors that we bought for land preparation, or the additional tractors that we got for Sargasso management, or whether it was the 60,000 plus banana trees that we brought into the country, or whether it was the 150,000 and gave free to farmers, or the 150,000 plus pineapple trees that we also gave free to farmers, or the 15,000 plus coconut trees that we are now giving to farmers, whether it was the backyard programs that we have been assisting, or the school gardening programs that we have assisted, whether it was the nearly, 3-4 dozen training sessions that we have done in a period of time. We've seen a lot has been done in the sector. Has it covered the Barefoot's hatchery? And I could go on listing. Has it covered the entire gamut of issues across agriculture? No. But that is the challenge of bringing things to the forefront, because now everybody sees all the problems, and in a short time expect that an individual could fix them all at once, especially when you're putting in the effort. And I'm saying that we are doing what we can. There's a lot more left to be done, and we are not daunted by the work, but we also recognize that with great exposure comes great criticism. And will we back down from exposing the work that we are doing in agriculture? Not at all. We will continue to expose it, because it's a sector that is worth the exposure. No longer will agriculture be forgotten, or pushed in the background, or be considered second tier. And then additionally, somehow our nation and the world somehow believes that you can't be a farmer and be fabulous or fashionable. Somehow you need to be a farmer and be dirty and hold a corner. Or you can't be a creative and be educated. Somehow if you're creative, you're supposed to be somewhere where academics is not suited. I am saying we are changing that. Everyone here is highly academically qualified, but they are creatives and farmers and people pushing these sectors in their own right. And if that bothers some people, then unfortunately, we have to move past that as a society and move to where we accept that we are free to be all that we need to be. Farmer and fabulous, creative and educated. So I hope that helps to address the true issue there. But beyond that, I also want to go back to the Tabasco. And I think the PS is here, and I would like to give him a chance to give some input on that as well. PS Fleming.
Yes, greetings everybody. As it relates to the Tabasco Pepper Project, the whole idea is to export pepper mash. That would be the end product to New Orleans. And the question is always thrown around as to how many farmers would be involved. But the truth is, it's a government-led project for now, right? And somewhere along the line, our intention is to involve the farmers, but more so as it relates to how can we support our food production initiative by helping to meet the demand, whether it is to supply the local market or to export. Right now, we can't meet our food security agenda. So we would not prioritize introducing pepper production to our farmers because our focus for our farming community is our food security agenda. So the pepper project is a government-led initiative. So that's where we are with it. But I wanted to respond quickly to just to add to what the minister said. Because yes, agriculture gets a lot of criticism, right? But the facts are the facts. Let me give you one example. Persons would complain about land preparation. The minister mentioned that we bought 2 new tractors. When we came in, we had no tractors operational, like 0 tractors. A lot of problems. But then again, the whole of St. Kitts and Nevis expect that the Ministry of Agriculture can prepare everybody's land. It's impossible, but when we still have private operators out there. And I can give you another example where there are persons who might be living next to a tractor operator, but refuse to utilize that tractor operator, go on the radio, criticize agriculture for not being able to get to him on time because we have hundreds of farmers to look up to prepare lands for, just because they don't want to pay an extra $20. I mean, that's crazy to me. I would prefer to pay the extra $20 than to wait and complain about agriculture and delay my planting season. So these are the facts. And it is impossible to prepare everybody's land from the government standpoint. It's just impossible when we have private operators out there.
Just a follow-up, if I'm allowed to.
Sorry, just before you, because there was one other thing that I wanted to clarify. You and I had the conversation about proprietary information, and we were speaking specifically on Tabasco seed stock. And I was telling you that it becomes difficult to just spread those seed stock across to farmers just like that without any real coordination, because they are heirloom varieties that they have a proprietary control over. And that is where the government had to be very careful in how it manages that. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Just a follow-up on the Tabasco, as the PS would have explained. So you explained it's a government-led project. How then is it executed? If the farmers are not involved, if there are no local farmers involved, who are the persons who are actually involved in the day-to-day operation of that project before it gets to the stage of opening it up to others?
Right. So we have a large labor force in St. Kitts and Nevis. There are persons out there who are looking for jobs, and we intend to utilize persons on the grounds.
But also, again, let me clarify. The farmers are involved. What we are saying that we can't just distribute seeds at this point to your independent plots. That's why we coordinated everything across the 100-acre plot to have farmers come to that space where we can manage it from there a little bit better. So it's not that the farmers are not involved, but I think you were talking about involved on the independent farms. That poses a bit of a challenge right now based on the legal agreement with the Tabasco company. Yes.
Good morning, Yolanda Weeks, WinFM. What crops or products does the ministry see as the most export potential? And how confident is the ministry that the country can be a net exporter of these products within the next 10 years or so?
I want to thank you for that question as well. Now, in 2023, we had put out our plan in connection with CARICOM as to how we will be tackling the 25 by 25 agenda. In that plan, we identified a number of crops. On that list were crops like peppers. On that list were crops like watermelon, tomatoes, cucumbers. We also identified crops like bananas and plantains. And then you had leafy greens like lettuce and kale and a few others. We came up with this listing based on looking at our import bill. What crops do we import the most of that we can actually grow sustainably? Because while we import things like rice, would it be sustainable for St. Kitts and Nevis to go heavily into rice production? The answer is no. But we can do watermelon production very well. And so we thought that we had a targeted amount of crops, and we have an avenue to, yes, become net exporters. Today, St. Kitts and Nevis celebrates the fact that we have produced more watermelons than we consume, and we have been exporting. Today, we celebrate a number of crops that we have done that with, but there's still some other crops that we are trying to bring up to that margin. And that's why we continue to do training. Right now, we are training our banana and plantain producers, because in another few months, we'll be producing more bananas and plantains than we can consume. And the idea is to have them prepared for export. And this is what we have been doing at the department and the Ministry of Agriculture. Let's go over to the sector of fisheries, which is another component under agriculture. When I took over in 2022, the numbers on the books were around $8 million in terms of annual revenue. Today we celebrate $19.6 million, which is over doubling what we met as annual revenue for the sector. So the question as to whether or not agriculture is growing could only be answered with statistics. Do we have issues in the sector? Yes, agriculture sector would always have issues. Every sector has issues. However, are we addressing the issues in the sector? The answer is hell yes. And what I am saying is, as we move forward, we have to be realistic. And sometimes as politics get in the mix of it as well too, and let us be fair and real. There are true farmers who have issues, and we try to address those issues as much as we can. But then there's some farmers that their issues are purely political. And I could tell you for certain, because there's a particular person that calls in on the radio who meets me in the street, and his excitement is, you hear me, boy? You hear me? You hear me? That's not someone with an issue. And when I went to his farm, he had 1 patch of bananas and 2 mango trees. And he said he hadn't planted anything since 2015. When I asked him why he did not, he said, well, no, I asked him why. He said he had a physical situation, which I wouldn't go into. But beyond the physical situation, I said, then why are you only talking now? He said, well, I couldn't say nothing under the last administration. You know what I would do? It's just purely political. Now, I try to help that farmer. To date, there's still 1 patch of banana and 2 mango trees. Now, how do you address that? But every day, he's on the radio that there's a problem in agriculture. So some real problems exist, and we will always seek to address those. But there are some political problems that exist. Those, I guess, will have to be addressed in a different manner.
I just wanted to add quickly that so the minister spoke about the crop side and you asked about crops, but bear in mind that we'll be exporting the old chicks as well from our newly, recently built hatchery.
Shift to Department of Sports regarding the Kim Collins Athletic Stadium. What immediate plans are there for that facility following the renovation, separate and apart from the usual sporting events that take place there? Thank you.
I want to say thank you again for that wonderful question. I would address the initial part. I would address it initially, but I'll also give the permanent secretary and director a chance to speak as well. But one of the things that we have always pushed for is to move St. Kitts and Nevis into a space where sports tourism becomes a big thing. To be able to do that in a real way, you need facilities that are at the standard to accommodate that. We know that many sportsmen and women love the idea of coming to St. Kitts and Nevis, staying at the Marriott or whichever hotel in the country, having a 10 to 15 minute drive to high-level facilities and a 10 to 15 minute drive back. That for them is heaven, right? Because it's not too much strain on their bodies. And then that drive is actually quite scenic, if I would admit it myself. We have a beautiful country. But to be able to maintain that is to really have the facilities that could really attract the top-tier athletes. And we have now, through the support of, well, not so much support, but the technology of Regapol, install a world-class athletic track that is attractive to the top-tier athletes in the world. And we are now getting requests from individuals to host regional and international meets here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And that is in line with what we had envisioned in moving it into that space. So outside of the regular inter-schools and high school meets, we are now looking to have international meets at that facility in the near future. And I hope that answers your question. And I'll turn over to the permanent secretary who may want to elaborate a little bit on that.
Just to add to what the minister said, I don't know if I understand from your question is if that we are going to allow other activities other than sporting activities to be held at the stadium. If that was part of your question, the answer would be no.
It's sporting activities, but different from usual sporting activities.
The minister would have spoken to that. Presently, we are also in discussions to have between the department, the Athletic Association, Esken Athletics, and the Esken OC to put a plan together as it relates to the use of the stadium in terms of developing our premium athletes.
All right, I have two questions from SKN Source. The first question for the department or the Ministry of Agriculture: what was the impact of hosting the Caribbean Week of Agriculture right here in St. Kitts? And the second is for Carnival. Sugar Mass 54 is shaping up to be the biggest yet. What can the public expect?
I wish to thank SKN Source for that, for those two questions. I would wish to have the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture address that first question on agriculture.
Yes, the impact of CWA. I would like to start with the word motivation. Motivation for the mere fact that we had, I think, from when I heard Sean Barr mention about 500 persons flying in for Caribbean Week of Agriculture, and the feedback from everybody and how great our agricultural landscape is. And I think we deserve a round of applause for that. And so again, to showcase, so the impact is, to showcase what we're doing in agriculture, to hear what other persons are doing in agriculture, and to see how we can directly link with the movers and the shakers within the region in agriculture to continue to develop our agriculture and to go after our food security agenda, which we will achieve and we must achieve. Thank you.
Thank you to our Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture. Just before I turn over to our Chairperson for National Carnival, I wish to just add to that outside of the motivation in and of itself, what has happened at Caribbean Week of Agriculture this year that I saw, the collaborations established have stretched far and wide. I know for certain there were a number of major initiatives that broke right here on this soil over those few days. One such initiative is an MOU between the delegation that came from Nigeria and the entire OECS. So the entire OECS Council of Ministers of Agriculture now engaging in an MOU with the team and the Ministry of Agriculture from Nigeria. And that happened right here in St. Kitts and Nevis on this soil. That was an initiative that started right here. And things like these are what we are trying to develop. We are bringing the world together. St. Kitts and Nevis is becoming that nucleus for agricultural advancement across the entire world, as we see now, connecting hemispheres. And I think that must be commended and applauded, yes. And I now turn over to Shannon Hawley to speak on the question for Carnival.
Thank you, Minister. Before I start on Carnival, sitting between these two men speaking so much about agriculture today, I think I want to become a fashionable farmer. Okay. I think I am motivated to become one of the fashionable farmers. It's a pleasure. But as it relates to National Carnival, we are preparing ourselves, and every year over the past 3 years we have said it, and we're going to say it again, that we are definitely preparing ourselves to welcome the world for Sugar Mass 54. We have gotten so many requests from regionally and international carnival lovers to come to St. Kitts for Sugar Mass. So expect over 25 private events and events that cater to everyone. Not only events that cater to the young, but everyone. You know, our Sugar Mass calendar is updated frequently, and there are, as I said before, over 25 private events on the calendar. There are a number of national events that we as the National Carnival Committee and Executive are working tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure that everyone has the most enjoyable time over the December period for Sugar Mass 54. And of course, we have to balance our traditional events that are also included on the National Carnival calendar. So by all accounts, we have all of our mass bands to date have launched. The feedback from that has been tremendous as far as I can see. And all of our private events and event promoters and stakeholders in general are gearing up. Our bands, our soca artists, all of our stakeholders are gearing up to ensure that this year's Sugar Mass is really, really one for the history books, and we're really looking forward to it. Thank you. Correct, sorry. And in addition, we have this year, as the committee, taken over or will be taking over the downtown Bastille area in terms of what was called on Bank Street, right? So we will have nightly entertainment to ensure that our vendors are happy and satisfied, working closely with the downtown businesses to ensure that no business is fully interrupted during that period. But areas in which I would consider fell short last year, we have over 200 vendors who have already registered over the past 10 days since our vendor registration has opened. So as I always like to say, Sugar Mass touches so many people in St. Kitts and Nevis, from our cleaners, street cleaners, to our vendors, to our mass bands, our bands, our general folklore stakeholders, and we really look forward to putting on a show and a spectacle for the general public, for our international visitors and regional visitors. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Oh, okay, I see a question here coming.
Carnival. I think, Minister, you mentioned in your opening statement that Carnival would have contributed about 21 million last year. Can you clarify the methodology used to come to that figure, how you derived at that figure? And well, I have a creative economy, but I think I'll go to sports. The work that's being done on Basketball City, could you just give us an update on that? And basketball stakeholders have been asking year after year for a covered facility. Will any modifications be done to the current work being done at Basketball City to at least give some form of covering so that basketball games will not be interrupted by rain?
And again, thank you for those questions. Now, if you would permit me, I'd answer the last one first, and then I would attempt to answer part of the last one first and turn it over to the Permanent Secretary, but also I would then take your first question and turn it over to Madam Chair for National Carnival to give you an in-depth insight into how we approach the economic assessment that was done. Now, basketball. When we started our mission in 2022, we started with an analysis of the conditions of our sporting facilities across the country. The sad reality that we cannot ignore is that when we looked at all of our national facilities, all, Warner Park, it was in horrible condition. If you remember, not even the lights were working properly for the football, and they had to be moved to the technical center for some games. In the cricket facility, areas over there were falling apart. The Jumbotron was practically out of date. You move over to our, netball. Netball was in horrible condition. Tennis, horrible condition. You move over to Kim Collins, horrible condition. You move up to Basketball City, horrible condition. And so that's our national netball facility, national tennis facility, national cricket facility, national track facility, national football facility. They were all in horrible condition. And so we had to put a plan in place to address all of them. Obviously, our annual budgets don't allow for you to address everything all at once. And so we started with those that were more critical. The first year, we had to get cricket up and running because we had international matches that we had committed to. Then we had to get the lights fixed for football. Then we moved to netball when we had the international men's tournament because we had a commitment on the line. Kim Collins as well. And every year we tried to find a space to make sure that we could address an issue. Basketball became that matter that we addressed this year. We had to, of course, go through the usual procurement and, the entire process. And now we are fully engaged in rectifying the issue at Basketball City. Here's a challenge. Basketball City, in the space that is available, is too small to do a proper indoor facility. And so what we have decided to do is ensure that Basketball City is playable, because it was at a point where you could not even play games there properly. I remember the last set of games played there. I saw where a young man tripped over the floor matting and injured himself. And I was there, I was present when that happened. And I thought, this is it. No further. We have to address this now. But we have to make it playable. The next part is to deliver the indoor facility. And so I want to ensure that we don't mix both of them. Basketball City is being developed to be playable. And we are developing one, maybe two indoor facilities that for now, I know for sure one, but there are another two that's on the line that I'm hoping that we could materialize. And so yes, we are getting our indoor facilities, but we are also making sure that Basketball City is ready for national tournaments yet again. And so that is what is happening there. We have started the work. We have had some delays where the electricians and some others were not showing up to do what needed to be done, and we have addressed that matter. And now we are moving full steam ahead. We had an update just yesterday, and from that update, I am told that within 8 weeks, all going well, Basketball City should be ready for play. I would turn that over to the PS if she has anything to add to that.
Minister very well eloquently addressed that. As the minister said, there were some delays, and we have come to a resolution concerning those delays, so the work is back on track. What is going to be done, as the minister said, we are going to make it playable. We're going to put down a new court surface, expand the president court that was there to make it more, FIBA regulated size, and we're putting in some new bleachers for now. As the minister said, the indoor that everybody is looking forward to will be coming sometime in the near future.
And before I turn over to National Carnival, I just reflected on Basketball City. And I remember when we started removing the court surface, the actual concrete, with the excavator. And I was there with Glenn Jeffers. He reminded me that this move was removing a surface that had been down there since 1982, thereabout. So what we are doing now hadn't been done since 1982. And certainly hadn't been done in the last 7 years. And so again, as we talk, because it's easy to point and say one thing or the next, but what's the reality? The reality is that it is being done. And it is being done now. And the reason why it wasn't done last year is because our budgets had to go to something else that needed to be done. And the reason why it wasn't done the year before is because the budget then had to go to something else that needed to be done. That wasn't done, especially not in the last 7 years. And so I turn it over to Madam Chair to talk about Carnival.
Thank you. So in terms of the economic impact assessment, so we had a group of economists come in and do a thorough assessment of National Carnival, because again, every year we talk and say, oh, Carnival was huge. However, if we don't have the statistics to back it up, we cannot get that additional support that we so require. So in 2024, we had a group of economists who started their economic impact assessment in December, and it ran through to March when that assessment was presented to the National Carnival Committee. It was based on a captive audience of Carnival enthusiasts of about 11,000 people, and there were a number of key findings, 3 key findings, and allow me to present those key 3 findings, and you're more than welcome. I can share that economic impact with you, Mr. Huey. Key finding number 1 was, as the minister reported earlier, National Carnival's impact on the Federation was approximately 21,714,000. And this was after accounting for important factors such as leakages and importation of in the economic model, okay? Key finding number 2, approximately 40% of active Carnival attendees were visitors, originating primarily from the United States. And key finding number 3 was that the staging of Carnival has a significant and lasting impact on other economic sectors, specifically tourism, but including transportation, food and beverage, retail, banking, and public administration. And as I said, this economic assessment was done by a group of independent economists. We're happy to share the assessment with anyone who would like a copy, but it really brought value to us as a committee and, of course, to the minister to understand economically how much Carnival impacts the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, especially due to the fact that over 40% of the attendees, the Carnival lovers, revelers, were from overseas. And you would recall last year, we indicated that during the 2-week peak period of National Carnival, over 16,000 visitors descended on Robert L. Bratcher International Airport. I'm not saying that all of those visitors were Carnival related, but we were significantly impacted by the Carnival revelers who came into St. Kitts and Nevis. And I think that deserves a round of applause, please. Thank you.
It does.
All right, we'll take one last question before we wrap up.
You make me have to. How is the Department of Cooperatives working to modernize the cooperative sector to make it more attractive to young people? And a part 2 to that, well, for me, when there was a time when I heard cooperative, I thought about agriculture, and a little bit more now, tourism. But how does the ministry plan to expand cooperatives beyond those 2 sectors, agriculture and tourism? Thank you.
I want to thank you for those questions. I think they're extremely good questions. Thank you for that. And I wish to turn that over to the PS in the ministry to address your questions.
Good morning. Thank you for that question as well. And I'll add, and then I'll ask the director, the registrar for cooperatives, to add if she have anything to add. So we are trying to diversify the cooperative movement. You are correct. The majority of the cooperatives are agricultural related. We also have the taxi cooperatives as well, and beekeepers, and we had interest from a group of creatives, DJs, who were looking to band together to form a cooperatives. So the cooperatives is not just for agricultural related cooperatives. We are trying to have different information forums so that we could educate the public as to what a cooperative is and how they could go about forming a cooperative.
I also want to add to what the PS said, our junior cooperatives. This is an area that is not really focused on, but we are trying to focus on our junior cooperatives in the school. I remember when I was going to school, we had what we call the junior banking, and that was for quite some time. And what we're trying to do is to push the banking sector, cooperatives, the credit unions are cooperatives as well. And so we wish to start in the schools, letting the general public know that we are focusing on our youth because we have to expand that particular sector. So we're promoting thrift in the schools by banking, and I don't know if I should say, but in the junior cooperative space, we have about $1.5 million that the children in the primary schools and the high schools bank.
And just to add, we are also looking to see how we could continue the development in the work of the Junior Savers Corps. So we are looking at developing a graduation program where, the children can take their monies from primary into high school, and then after they finish high school, they can leave by establishing bank accounts. So the children, once they leave high school, they already have a bank account with the monies on it. And it's about developing the financial literacy amongst the very young. And we are also looking to see how we could even go even younger into the preschools to educate them about the to be financial responsible, so that when they receive their Christmas monies, whether it's in a postcard or on their birthday, they can say, Mommy and Daddy, I would like to put aside $5, $10, or however much that is, to show that they understand what it is to save for a rainy day.
All right, thank you. I wish to thank all the members of the media for your thoughtful questions and continued partnership in sharing our nation's story of growth and transformation. We'll now hear the minister's closing remarks.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. And as I close out today's press conference, I want us to reflect on the idea of our nation and its advancement. St. Kitts and Nevis has always been a proud nation. 1984, 83, we attained independence. And from then on, we've been pushing ahead as one of the smallest nations in the Western Hemisphere. But we have always punched above our weight. From about 1984, we had our own national who saw the opportunity that needed to be had for a small nation to be able to take up its space in the global world, in the globe, and created our now world-renowned citizenship by investment program. We have always been innovative. We have always found a way to not just survive, but to thrive. And here we are, years later, finding ways in a difficult world. Because let us make no mistakes about it. We see what is happening in Russia and Ukraine. We see what is happening between Israel and Palestine. We see what is happening with the United States of America and China, and so many more countries around the world. But we have to ensure our sovereignty stands tall. We have to ensure that St. Kitts and Nevis can survive, come what may. And diversification is going to play a big role in us being able to do that. For years, we've survived on the Citizenship by Investment program. That now has its challenges. And we have had to find new ways to move our country forward economically. And that's why industries like agriculture has to take a space where the creative sector has to now come and provide opportunities for some of our people. That's why the area of small business must be empowered. We have to find, and I also want to mention sports, because at the end of the day, these are the areas where there are vast opportunities. When we look at it from the top tier, where an athlete can earn hundreds of millions of dollars a year just by playing the sport. When we look at it from the top tier of the creative sector, where a stage performer can earn millions of dollars a performance. When we look at the idea of agriculture, and it was asked about Tabasco, I've seen it. The Tabasco company sits on Avery Island, which is a 5 square mile island, and they run a multi-billion-dollar operation on 5 square miles. We sit on 68 square miles on this side and another 30 plus on Nevis. We can more than do what they're doing there. But it's for us to be innovative. It's for us to look at the opportunities before us and grasp them. It's for us to break barriers and go beyond the boundaries. And that is what this is about. And with that, I would like to thank, first and foremost, our Honorable Prime Minister, because he has been one, and none of this could happen without the support of the Prime Minister and the Federal Cabinet. And so we have to say thank you to the Federal Cabinet for being a part of this vision and this drive to move the country forward. But I also want to thank the people here at this head table, because oftentimes the media spotlight, good or bad, shines on the minister. But the minister can't be the minister without a strong team. And this is the team that helps me to move it forward. The team that you see here at the table and the supporting team behind them. These are the managers that help to move all these sectors forward. But I also want to thank the stakeholders, whether it is the 1,000+ farmers, the 1,000+ fishers, the thousands of athletes and sports enthusiasts, whether it is the thousands of creatives. You are all valued, and we care. And that is why we work every single day. What you've seen here is 90 days of work. 90 days. And if you had to be honest, we could probably speak to some people who may not have achieved that in 5 years. But it's been 90 days of work. And every 90 days we have committed ourselves to come before the people and put it forward. Accountability and transparency. And so, as we close, I want us to be very clear about what is happening, not just on the ground in St. Kitts, but around us, and what it takes to survive and thrive in such a difficult global climate. And the resilience we'll need to continue powering progress and ensuring that this small island nation stands as a giant, one with innovation, one that is known for resilience, and one that is known, again, to break every barrier and go beyond every boundary. Thank you.
All right, thank you once again, Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, as we bring this morning's press conference to a close, I wish to express my heartfelt gratitude on behalf of the organizing team. First and foremost, we give thanks to Almighty God for His grace and favor, for allowing us to come together once again to reflect on our progress and share the work being done for our people. To our Minister, the Honorable Samal Duggins, his permanent secretaries and directors, thank you for taking the time to come before the nation to share these important updates and for your continued leadership and dedication. To the members of the media and the radio stations carrying the live, thank you for helping us reach our people near and far. To the production team, photographers and graphic designers, and to our internal communications units across the various departments, your hard work makes these moments possible. I truly couldn't do it without you. A special thank you as well to NEMA for graciously hosting us quarter after quarter. Your partnership and hospitality are sincerely appreciated. And to anyone who I may have forgotten, please know that your contribution has not gone unnoticed. Thank you, God bless you, and drive safely. As the year draws to a close, I want to take this moment to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas in advance, Happy Sugar Mass, and may your season be filled with peace, joy, and blessings. I'll see you next year, God spare our lives. Thank you and have a wonderful week.
Yep. Get the shine, So good to me. That's good. Yeah. Can you help me say thank you? Now can you help me say thank you? Yeah. Cause if you work from the day to the night, but you know that you still gotta fight, I wanna say thank you for not giving up on me.
For not giving up on me. For not giving up on you. For your belief in me. And for your belief in you.
So baby, right on time. Anything you need, I'll be right on time. Give you everything, even my last dime. If I got it, you got it, we gon' be fine. Oh, pray for better days. Like Mr. Garvey, we keep the faith. Eyes on Zion, no time to wait. Don't say please, just let me hear you say thank you. Thank you. Now can you let me say thank you? Cause if you work from the day to the night, but you know that you still gotta fight, I wanna say thank you. Thank you for not giving up on me. For not giving up on me. For not giving up. For not giving up on you. For not giving up on me. Not giving up on you. I wanna say thank you. Thank you. Lord, can you hear me say thank you? Hey, cause if you work from the day to the night, but you know that you still gotta fight, I wanna say thank you. Thank you for not giving up on us. Yes. For not giving up on us. Say thank you. Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for not giving up on me. You for not giving up on me. Carnival Dali, looking nice and pretty. Out the Dali house, lighting up the city. By the circus clock, girl, you could make me. The whole of 4th Street bright like a New York City. This one is for all of me, Dali. Check me near, take a hair salon regularly. Independent, you work hard for your money. Step out of your Dali house, get bright and sunny. This is season 1, Dali edition. A Dali marathon, all a tongue, it Dali down. So when you see them with them face beat up, hygiene up, 30-inch Brazilian here, girl, you wig up, nails paint up, well neat up. One be a dolly, girl, you better try gig up. One be dolly, some girl, one be dolly. When me real dolly, them put up your hand, make me say. One be dolly, them girl, one be dolly. When me real dolly, them put up your hand and say me. Cause anyway we did the girl and dolly up, Juve them dolly up, parade them dolly up. Sugar mass out of them dolly-ups, out of them dolly-ups, them girl them dolly-up. And me say, me will be the big girl them dolly-up, Juve them dolly-up, parade them dolly-up. They call me sugar man out of them dolly-ups, Carnival dolly-up, because the dolly's out. Watch out, Barbie dolly, them la Barbie dolly. Cute face, nice, she up and the nasty, and petty. Lighting up the city.